Ask Dan Schneider. Cody with a K asked me, Dan, you've stated before who you would like to interview, who you think would make a good interview, but what people or persons would you not like to interview? Well, that's an interesting question, Cody with a K. Off the top of my head, just in general, broad strokes, I wouldn't want to waste time arguing with racists, uh, bad scientists I'm not particularly interested in, gangsters, mobsters, terrorists, people who are like on the far extreme of the political fringes, either left wingers or right wingers. I especially detest the Reaganite type mindset that's impoverished generations now. As for individuals, I'm doing a Visionary of Fraud series. My first three were Ray Kurzweil, Richard Dawkins, and I'm still trying to do a Noam Chomsky show. I wouldn't want to interview any of those guys. Kurzweil is a buffoon. Um, Dawkins has done so much damage to the cause of uh, agnosticism, irreligious belief, with his nastiness and condescension. And Chomsky has pretended to be an expert on everything to the point that he's, I think, just a total joke. Um, Another person I wouldn't want to interview is Michael Shermer. He belongs in that crowd. I tried to interview him in 2003 for my Omniversica show, and he screwed me at the last moment because I didn't agree with something that he had written in a book. Then a few years later, when I did my written interviews, I had researched him all. I read his latest book at the time, which was a sort of memoir. And the memoir was a good, solid book, but his libertarian views were so wacky. I called him on it a little bit in the review, and I told him I would have to question him as to how someone who's a debunker extraordinaire could believe such wacky views, because to be a libertarian, to me, or to anyone who's rational, is to be basically as off the beam as someone who believes in Bigfoot. Um, Other people, other frauds, or people that I don't want to, would not want to waste time talking to. Someone like Sam Harris, a man who apparently is just a professional atheist. Uh, a guy who is pretty intelligent, but he's way overexposed, is Lawrence Krauss, a scientist. I I've gotten to the point that he's getting to that almost Chomsky level. He's a bit more modest and doesn't step outside his expertise the way Chomsky does, but it may just be a matter of time. Maybe the last one is Neil deGrasse Tyson. I tried to interview him a few times before, but his people said he was unavailable. But he's become more buffoonish too in the last few years. He's so much a Carl Sagan wannabe that it's kind of disturbing. So those are the people that I probably wouldn't want to waste time interviewing. Thanks for the question.